Hello, I'm Ilona, and in this part one, I'm going to take a look at the first 6 months of 2024. I'm going to use my card reading I use for the month, and the first two cards I will, use for the energy of January till March, and the second two cards will be the energy of April till June. So this is really about the first 6 months, and then the second row will be the challenges in, of course, January till March, and the challenges between April and June, and then of course the advice in that period of time, and the last row will be about the energy we will be at the end of the period. So the first period, January till March, will be the end of March, and the period April to June will be at the end of June. What will be the energy at that time? So that's about how I'm going to do this. I don't want to make it too long of a video, so that's why I'm going to be making two videos. So this is the first 6 months of 2024. These are global energy, so it's not like very detailed, but it's just an indication of what we can expect in that period. So the first two cards I've shuffled everything in the Dutch video. If you want to see that and see me pull the cards, you can watch the Dutch video in the beginning. First row is about the energy. So the first two cards I'm going to look at is the energy in January till March. I'm going to first do January till March because I think that will be more in order, and then I will look at April till June. So first, this is January till March. We've got 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. So I do think this is going to be quite a hectic, stressful period, January till March 2024, and radical changes or radical decisions make, or something that stops immediately, suddenly. This is really about stress, so I do believe a lot of people will feel a lot of stress and will not fully understand what is going on. And of course, a large group of humanity doesn't really understand what is going on. So it can be very frightening things happening, and sudden things. Suddenly something stops or something ends. It's very radical. The 10 of Swords is usually a very radical ending to something. This is the 9, this is the 10. Interesting, of course, both sword cards. Something's going to end in January to March. I don't know what exactly, but there's going to be an ending. So I understand that people are still, of course, waiting, as am I, this complete change. We just don't know when it's going to happen. I feel it's going to be in stages, so we'll have to wait until the big event is going to be there. But January to March, and I always want to keep an open mind. I don't want people to focus on that, but this is a very radical period. Things will happen very suddenly, stressful, different things can happen. But a lot of people, especially people that are just not aware of what is going on, it can be a very, very stressful time, very frightening time, afraid. You see this person, waking up in the middle of the night. It's dark around the person. It's very upsetting. So there's a lot of mental anxiety going on with people, and it's going to be a tough period. That's what the feeling I'm getting. So from January to March, so that's the energy. This is the challenges in that period of time. We have the Temperance card and the Ace of Cups. So the challenge will be to remain in balance, just for humanity, but also this, of course, individually. Remain balanced. Try to keep your balance and to connect with your emotions, with your feelings. The Ace of Cups, with your intuition, really tune in. That's going to be so important to keep you balanced, because a lot of things happening right now. I've mentioned this in a few videos and other people as well. I can really sense that all things are coming up. I'm being triggered on a very deep level, and there are a lot of people who have no clue that is happening, so they can really react also because of the damages from the stings in a very negative way, short fuse. They are not connected to their emotions, their intuition at all, and that's going to be for them a big challenge to keep themselves balanced. Most likely they won't be balanced at all, and especially in this period with the first card already indicating there's going to be a lot of stress, there's going to be a lot of things happening, frightening things, sudden things that people can get, disconnected, and you're going to see it. It's going to be, you're going to see this in people. They're going to be very unstable. So for you, if you're watching this video, very important, balance yourself, connect yourself with your intuition, with God, with your soul, because that will be the most important part to stay strong in this period of time, because I do believe it's going to be quite hectic. Interesting enough, for the advice, we have the Five of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. And this is very interesting. These are quite difficult cards. So how can you see this as an advice card? Well, first of all, see if you're still maybe, there are things happening inside of yourself. Is there still some battle going on between parts in yourself? Is there still some disagreement, or you're, conflicted inside of yourself? Very important to the advice to grow above that, to heal that, because if you are conflicted, you will see it, of course, in your environment, and also stay out of those things, of fights, things outside of yourself. Really remain balanced inside yourself and take responsibility. Taking responsibility of these parts in yourself that still need healing. Maybe there are still some shadow parts that need to be looked at. It's time that we take that back. It's time that we take responsibility for that, not walking away from that. So that's the advice. Of course, we don't know how everyone is going to react if things, we can already see it around us. A lot of people don't understand what is going on. So there will be people walking away, trying to get away with, not taking responsibility. You'll see those people right away, especially when you are taking responsibility. Maybe it is time to move away from those people. Maybe it's time to move away from these, drama, these fights. Maybe you're surrounded by certain people that always create drama, maybe in your family. Then it's time to move away from them as well, because they are not taking responsibility. In that case, the advice is to take responsibility of your own energy and to really, just take responsibility, move away from it. You don't have to deal with that anymore. It's very important. So these are the two advice cards for January till March. And then the end of March, these are the energies. And that's the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So I believe at the end of March, people will feel left out in the cold. It's possible that financially people will feel left out in the cold, or the government left them completely helpless or powerless, or the feeling that they're left out. But we have the Six of Cups as well. So I do believe that from January to March, things about children will be coming out. And that can be devastating to people as well, to really hear about that. That could also leave people completely in the cold. And I already mentioned in my video on Monday, yesterday evening, I think it's Tuesday, I did a recap of my Dutch life. And there were some questions as well that is connected to the Pope and religion and the church. And I think those things, especially when you look at this card with the church outside, things connected with children as well are going to come out. And it will be in phases, because it will be very tough to bear for people to deal with that, to listen to that. And I fully understand that it's almost impossible to fully understand the scope of things and what has happened. I think I only know like a small piece of what's really happened with children for this long, for centuries. So this will be in phases, so people can wrap their brains around it, but people will feel left out. So this could be connected to children. It could also be connected to everything that's happening around us, and they feel left out in the cold. Financial, maybe there's situations happening why people feel like, what's going on? So at the end of March, it will be quite a rough period. I do feel January to March is going to be hectic, sudden changes. Things are going to come out, I do think, concerning children. It's going to be a hectic period. Of course, also with the stings, I do think more and more things are going to come out. You can also already see that happening, at least in Europe. Germany is paying a lot of attention to the damages done with stings. Here in the Netherlands, we're going to hear more things about that. At least I've noticed some things, some items being talked about, at least on the mainstream media. I'm not talking about the independent media, because of course that's been clear for quite some time. But things are going to come out. People will feel left out in the cold. So I think January and March it's going to be a very important period. So now I want to take a look at April till June. The first cards are the energies of April and June. And we've got beautiful cards. So we have the Empress and we have the Ten of Cups. This is very like a completely different energy. Of course, here on the side that I'm on, we're heading towards summer then, April till June. Spring, summer, so it's going to become warmer, and that's what it kind of reminds me of. But of course, if you're in Australia, you're heading towards winter then, so fall, winter. But this is very interesting. This is just, when you look at this, the female principle is coming in, so things are changing and more humanity is connecting more. There's more connection between humanity with the 10 of Cups. People understanding that there needs to be connection. It's kind of bringing us together. So the energies of April and June are a very different energy from January till March. So I do believe that there will be a different energy. It will be lighter. It will be softer. The sacred female principle is coming in, and we'll see that around the world as well. That doesn't mean that immediately the world will change, but I think there will be just a different energy coming in. So we'll have things are starting to solve more. That doesn't mean that the change has happened between, March and April. I just don't know when the big change is going to happen. Maybe it's now more in, phases. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to focus on that, but I can say that in April till June, it's a different energy coming in. The female sacred principle can balance out the male sacred principle. It needs to be balanced. Very important. So the April till June feels like a balancing period, connection, very beautiful. Then we have the challenges, and that will be the Justice card and the 7 of Cups. So the challenges will be, again, this is interesting because we also had a Temperance card for January till March, about balancing but really stepping back and looking at things objectively, not getting caught up in confusion, in things that are happening. Especially with the 7 of Cups, it can be very confusing for people. What is going on? What is happening? Changes around the world obviously will have an effect on a lot of people, humanity. A lot of people that are still not aware of what's going on, they can get very confused, and it's very important that we do not get caught up in the confusion of someone else, but also that we don't get confused ourselves. Very important to step back, look at it from a distance, and really don't let it affect you too much. So that's really the challenge, is to not let us affect all kinds of things that are happening in April till June. Not getting caught up in all the confusion that could be happening, especially when things are going to come out. There's going to be so much confusion, frustration with people. So I can fully understand with, of course, the end of March that people will feel left out in the cold, especially if they're starting to realize what's been going on. But it is up to each and every one of us to deal with that, and if we want to see it or not. These are the advice cards, the World card and the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful cards. Together with the Empress, I do believe April and June will be very important, but more in a good way. Things will change for the better. That doesn't mean there is going to be an immediate change, but we can see things getting better. I think it will be more of slowly happening. But it's also the advice to really balance yourself so you can bring in the new energy, start manifesting. I also wanted to mention, I mentioned this in my Dutch video, that I've noticed because of the energy, it's becoming higher, that things can get manifested quite quickly. So really start using that. And you can do that by, of course, connecting with your own energy and focusing on that. I've noticed if I wanted some answers or wanted insight in a certain situation with certain things, usually within 1 or 2 days, I already had the insight or the answer to my question. Or if I wanted to manifest something, it was already there. It's really very fast now, and especially when you're more and more aligned, in healing, you can use that. So especially in the period from April to June, you can really use the movement of things, the Wheel of Fortune, more positive things are on the way. You can really flow with that. Don't go against it. Don't try to avoid things or not dealing with them, but really going with the flow and bringing that new energy. This is also the end of a certain cycle. Especially the World card is the last card of the major arcana, so something will end. And it's for you also to leave certain things behind, certain situations or certain people, because it's kind of done. And especially in April and June, it's necessary to bring in new energies, new situations. So if there's still something troubling you at that time, it will be the advice to leave that behind, and you have the energies to help you through that. The last two cards is the Moon and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is the end of June, where we'll be in. And I think, especially with the Moon card in combination, I feel that we have shed a lot of illusions. A lot of the Moon is about illusions, about fear. I think people are start seeing through things. So I think a larger group of humanity, especially with all the things that have come out in the in January and March, and then of course in April and June, that will continue, about health, about maybe financial things. It's the element of earth. Pentacles is about the element of earth, so it's very tangible. So health, finances, things like that, maybe what has been happening to our food, our water, our air, things like that. So people are seeing through that. They're breaking through all these illusions and starting to realize that needs to stop. So I do think April and June are going to be very, very important in showing things, but also people leaving certain fears behind, stepping away from that. More and more people are going to break out of this fear cycle that we purposely been kept in, especially with these energies and advice and the Empress energy coming in and the Ten of Cups. I think April and June will be very important for humanity to step beyond all the fear programming and all the fear that's being generated to keep us in a very low frequency. So I do believe that at the end of June, we will be in a better position or a better energy. That's the feeling I'm getting. That doesn't mean that automatically everything will be fixed and done, but there will be new energy coming in. And by doing that, more people connecting to that, we are bringing in, of course, this new world energy. Well, and I don't mean it in that way. But more like this fantastic world we are opening up to. I believe the energy is already there, but we need to connect with ourselves to bring it in. And we will bring more and more energy, and we'll start manifesting what we truly want. So I think we're going to see changes already happening in April and June. Do believe 2024 is going to be a very important year in changing things. Changing perspectives, just changing things. So I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in part 2. That will be the next 6 months in 2024. Bye.